Hello and thank you for joining us for this week's Northwest Newsweek. I'm Riley McManus. The nominations are now closed for the municipal elections around Ontario, including here in the Northwest. Many towns around the Northwest have 2 or 3 people running for mayor, while others will be done by acclamation. Adam Riley has the full rundown.
It will be a majority of 1v1 races across the Northwest this upcoming municipal election. Starting in Terrace Bay, following the absence left by retiring Mayor Jody Davis, Councillor Paul Malashewski will be facing off against returning mayoral challenger Gino LeBlanc. Inscriber Kevin Mullins, who was swept into the role last year following the tragic death of Dave Hamilton, is taking on returning challenger Dominic Camiso and former councillor Kim Krause. Another definite change will be happening in Nipigon after Richard Harvey announced earlier this month he would not be seeking the head of council role, opting instead for a councillor's position, meaning it will be a race between longtime councillor James Folds and former economic development manager Suzanne Kuko. Meanwhile, in Red Rock, Darkese Robinson has decided to seek a second term after being thrust into the role in late 2020. And in Manitowage, it will be a rare 3-person race with incumbent John McEachern defending his role against Margaret Hartling and councillor Jim Moffat. Moving to the west of Thunder Bay, Kenora also has a 3-for-all for the mayor's chair on hand. David Byers-Kitt, Councillor Andrew Poirier, and Chamber of Commerce President Andy Scriblo are hoping to replace the retiring mayor Dan Raynard. Moving over to Dryden, where Greg Wilson has also chosen not to stand for re-election, which leaves newcomer Jack Harrison to square off against Councillor Shane McKinnon. And it'll be one for the history books in Atikokan, for after 40 years, Dennis Brown will not be on the ballot there. That mayoral race features Councillor Rob Ferguson and Robin Harper. To the north of that community, Ignace will see a showdown between incumbent Penny Lucas and Bill Gascon. Following a wild couple of years in Red Lake, which included forest fires and evacuations, incumbent Fred Moda is looking to continue his leadership of the community, but he faces opposition from Dean Martin. And in the borderland, June Call has opted to not seek a second term as mayor, leaving a face-off between Councillor Andrew Helicus and former Councillor Ken Perry.
Now, you may have noticed some communities weren't listed just a moment ago, and that's because for the role of mayor, only one person has signed on to take on the role. And that includes incumbents Deb Ewald in Rainy River, Sioux Lookout's Doug Lawrence, Ear Falls' Kevin Cahoot, and Marathon's Rick Dumas. Mind you, there will be a bit of a change in Greenstone this year, with Renard Beaulieu retiring, and that has left the floor open for Long Lac councillor Jamie McPherson to take the role unopposed. Adam Riley, TBT News.
A proposed federal riding redistribution plan could have a significant impact on this region. The boundary adjustments would reduce the numbers of ridings in Northern Ontario from 10 to 9.
I think this is an assault on the democratic rights of the people of Northern Ontario.
Thunder Bay Rainy River MP Marcus Pulowski is criticizing the proposed changes, which, if approved, could take effect in the spring of 2024. One change is the creation of a new far north riding of Kiiwetinoong-Mushkekowik. The lower portion of the Kenora riding would be merged into Pulowski's riding and would be called Kenora Thunder Bay Rainy River. And the Thunder Bay Superior North riding would see some minor adjustments. Public hearings will be held over the next few weeks by the 3-member commission charged with overseeing the riding change process. Pulowski is already voicing his concerns, saying this will not be beneficial to Northern Ontario residents.
Your ability to be heard is going to go down significantly. And it doesn't matter what party you're with, whether you're NDP, Liberal, or Conservative. I don't think it's in the people's interest, regardless of your political stripes, to have less political representation in Ottawa, and that's what this does.
Pulowski is hoping the proposals will be changed as the plan is still in initial stages. If the current Trudeau minority government were to fall before the spring of 2024, the current boundaries would remain in effect. No injuries have been reported after a small plane made an emergency landing on Highway 17 near Marathon on Tuesday. The incident occurred mid-afternoon when a single-engine plane experienced mechanical issues and began to overheat, according to Marathon Fire Chief Earl Grigg. Fortunately, the pilot was able to find an empty stretch of highway near Naze Provincial Park and successfully brought the plane down. The unexpected landing forced the closure of the highway for part of the afternoon, but has since fully reopened to traffic. Several hundred jobs could be created in the Nipigon-Greenstone area through a renewable natural gas plant worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Details about the big project were released at Fort William Historical Park. Lake Nipigon Forest Management and BC-based Wren Energy Corporation signed a letter of intent to move forward with the planning and design of the plant, which would convert unutilized wood fiber into natural gas. The plant will use up to 500,000 cubic meters of unmarketable hardwood, slash and debris annually, with potential to double that in the future. The plant will be the second of its kind under construction by Wren, following their first project in BC. Officials with Wren and the First Nation partners say this will be their legacy project and are hoping to make a huge impact on the world.
If we can help change the climate scenario by stopping the fires and cleaning up and having a low carbon intensity, then we've more than done our job. So once this is done, once we get the first one done, that's the start of where we want to go, and we just want to build on it. And we're excited about that. You know, it's our life.
It's so exciting to be on the cusp of that new, the new product and the renewable product. You know, it's earth friendly, and it's taking care of the problems that we have currently on today's forests.
A feasibility study will be completed before construction can take place on the estimated $200 million plant. And if things move faster in Ontario compared to the plant in BC, the plant here could be completed first. Another milestone this week for the construction of the Waytay-Nikeniap transmission line. The power project, valued at almost $2 billion, will eventually connect 17 remote First Nations to the provincial energy grid. Construction began a little over 4 years ago and involved several segments. One of the first to be completed was the line from Red Lake to Pikanchicum First Nation, which was energized in December of 2018. This latest portion connects the Norwick area to Pickle Lake with a 230 kilovolt line and makes up 300 kilometers of the overall 1,800 kilometer project. Waytay Power CEO Margaret Kinnikwanish says this phase is now completed. It will allow the project to move into directly connecting communities.
Well, we continue to build the line towards North Caribou Lake and towards Kingfisher Lake and all the way up to Bearskin, as well as all the way up to Casablanca. And then from the Red Lake side, from Pikanchicum all the way up to Sandy Lake, we continue to build. There's a number of communities that will be connected this fall.
At times, 1,100 people can be working on the line. The Indigenous-led project is helping provide jobs and training to many living in the communities that are along the transmission line's path. More communities are expected to be connected in 2023, with a full completion of the project expected the following year. Police in Fort Frances are investigating the death in that community, which took place last Saturday on the railroad tracks. Officers were called shortly before 3 a.m. that day to the tracks near Crow Avenue, where they located 46-year-old Sterling McIntyre. No foul play is suspected. However, police are uncertain of the cause of death and are conducting an investigation in conjunction with the office and the coroner and the CN police. A post-mortem was scheduled to take place this week. Fort Frances's Mayor June Call is once again facing sanctions as a result of an Integrity Commissioner's report into her handling of confidential documents. Earlier this year, Call apologized providing those documents to a local resident who has used them in an attempt to make a case against Resolute's forestry license for the Crossroute Forest. On Thursday, a special council meeting was held to look into another investigation. In his remarks, Integrity Commissioner Paul Hain says Call violated several sections of the Code of Council, the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act, and the Workplace Harassment Policy. Prior to Hain's report to Council, Mayor Call was given the chance to speak to the situation. She says this is the 5th time an investigation of this nature has been held against her, which she says has taken its toll, especially with many attacks taking place in virtual settings.
Frankly, I'm fed up with the attacks that have been waged against me, even though no one has ever come and talked face to face about any of the issues they seem to have with me. Whatever happened to talking to someone in person about an issue you are concerned with? Whatever happened to being upfront instead of hiding in anonymity? I once again invite anyone to speak with me face to face about anything. I am not a cruel or nasty person, and I do not bite.
Council voted 5-2 in favor of receiving Hain's report and amended the motion to have Call apologize once more, this time, however, in writing, to staff members who were affected by her actions. When When we come back, the Geraldton District Hospital reaches once again into its bag of tricks to address staffing concerns.